Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Ahad Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Ahad Akbar, 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 Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar. Yes, mothers of the human race, mothers of human beings. That means when I'm talking, I say mothers, I'm speaking to mothers, a female of creation. Yes, my mothers, you are the greatest of creations because you are honored by Allah by a holy divine honor. And in that honor and task, a divine holy task, you are women and what we call female of creations. When you become of age, and that age must be 20 years old, that's when you are able to make a consented, informed decision to engage in any of what is, what you do, how to say, your bedroom, what goes on in your bedroom, engagements and practices, or whatever. That is to say that if you are 20 years old, you are able to articulate security and reasoning accountability to security of your own health. Your own health. Because if you are in good health, that means your children are also, or your offspring will be looked after in a way that they are in a very, very excellent, exuberant, and very bubbly, beautiful children, of which we gonna look at how to put that into action. Mothers are the girl child. As I said, mothers, the female of creation. When I say mothers, yes, they are mothers. Some of you today, you have children. Some of your children are 5 years old, 10 years, 13 years, 14 years, 15 years. Yes, you've got to guide them according to what you are all going to listen to hear from these very, very holy, beautiful ayahs of the Holy Quran, how to look after those little girls' health, how to guide them to protect themselves from disease. Because some of the diseases Allah has kind of warned and put what we call prescriptions and directives and laws. For instance, there's a law which prohibits men and women from the consumption of alcohol. That law, in it, there are so many there are so many ayahs, of which one of it is that if any of either man or woman consumes alcohol, they lose any reasoning accountability to their security. However, in a woman's capacity, if a woman consumes alcohol, that is very, very dangerous, because by natural law and natural holy divine ayah interpretations, a woman's integrity is always alerting the mother or a girl or a child or a woman that you are vulnerable. You are vulnerable. When I say you are vulnerable, that means your security needs to be in very, very good, your security to your good health has to be at its best when you are in your natural, balanced articulation, beauty, articulation, integrity to beauty, to health, as well as to security, to your own good health. In that, Allah says, yes, do not consume alcohol because alcohol kills a part of you when you've consumed it. That's when a part of your brain goes into what we call a partial paralysis. So you don't want to ever put alcohol in your body. That way, you would avoid being put into a compromised situation whereby your security is very, very under threat if you are under any intoxication or any whatever of alcohol, any amount or any unit of alcohol. And that security goes to what we medical or spiritual or in the medical interpretation of Islamic medical applications, if a woman consumes alcohol, whatever unit of alcohol goes into her body goes straight into the reproductive system. And that reproductive system, the major part of it is the ovaries. So whatever unit of alcohol that a woman consumes ends up in the ovaries. And once alcohol, toxic gunk, enters the ovaries, it will destroy the natural, balanced ovary lining. There's a lining in the ovaries, which Allah creates, and that lining should always be protected from any toxic toxins or any toxic toxins or any gunk of any toxins. That way, you are advised, or I would put it on the table, that never consume alcohol, because once alcohol enters your ovaries, what it does, it removes, it destroys the natural lining, the natural balance lining of the ovaries, and then it replaces alcohol, replaces its whatever with a toxic gunk, a very dirty toxin, that if an egg was to sit on that gunk toxin mucus of what would be like a lining of the ovary, because the natural one, which is a very clean one, was removed or destroyed by the alcohol toxic gunk. Then that which is there is like it's full of gunk, poor toxins, which may damage an egg if you are to become you are to become whatever, and an egg sits on that gunk, toxin mucus of alcohol, then that will alter the egg's genetics and genetics and structures, as well as you as a mother, you would experience, as a girl, you will experience what we call a monthly reproductive cycle, menstrual cycle. When you go into, for instance, if you were to consume alcohol, your menstrual reproductive cycle periods will be very painful. You experience very pain here and there in all your body's mechanisms and systems. So that way, Allah has said, do not consume alcohol. Do not ever put alcohol in your body. That is advice, or that type of interpretation goes to all mothers, all living mothers on Mother Planet Earth, as well as the girl child. This interpretation should be put to every girl so that they know that alcohol is not a part of any of whatever that we interpret as beauty. First of all, if you're to drink alcohol, your dignities can be easily be raped either by you yourself or anybody else who finds you under a state when you are under no any way to articulate security to your health, as well as to yourself, as well as to your integrities, as well as to your beauty. So in that aspect, any bottle of whiskey is not a part of what we call love or life. Any man who suggests to you that, oh, can I take you out and buy a bottle of champagne? No, that is a man who is a wicked, a sex predator, who want to put you under who want to put you under what we call, who want to rape you. Because when you are under the influence of alcohol, you do not make consented sex engagement. You are not, because you are not around. Your brain is in a partial paralysis, and spiritually, by natural law, because Allah created us, He did put a soul in every human. That soul ejects the moment you put alcohol in your tongue. That's when you become unable to articulate security to any of your surroundings. And that's when what we call sex predators or cowards use such whatever and say, can I buy a bottle of champagne? No. Never accept and never allow such things to be put on the table when it comes to the beauty of life. Life is a religion, and that most holy, beautiful religion is Islam. So we continue, we are looking at health as we are looking at the World Health Organization, the Magna Carta interpretation of what you women should know about health and your beauty and your integrity, as well as the duty to you as a mother or a girl child to what you call future generation, whom we call your offspring. They must be protected from medical disorders or any of those things that causes children to be either in hyper or what we call autism. These things occur in what you call in children in modern times because of the abuse of alcohol or the genetic alteration when the mother may have had what we call alcohol in her body system, because alcohol, when it enters the ovaries, it will never come out. It will always be there. Whatever goes in those, whatever will cause a genetic alteration from its original genetic beauty to something that medical, what it is illustrated as medical disorders, or some of these medical disorders may be kind of severe and some may be mild. But as a beautiful mother, you wouldn't like any medical disorders in any of your children. I suppose that's very true. Every mother who has ever held a child, has ever held a baby in her womb, you always want to look at your baby and you smile. You smile. As they smile, you dance. When you dance with them, or when you look and smell the beauty of very, very beautiful fragrances of rhythms of life, perfumes from every flower, because every flower on this planet, its religion is Islam. And indeed, mothers, I would like to say to you that you are indeed very, very beautiful flowers. Very, 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 very special, beautiful flowers. Yes, yesterday we looked at how it is interpreted through one of the land's largest animals, and that is an elephant. It is, and there's a very, very holy special interpretations when you look at an elephant. Yes, it's the largest land animal, but also it says to you, yes, mother or any girl child, any woman, when you become of age or when you are born, you've got to be protected. And that protection falls under what you put on your clothes, as when you cover yourself. Dress modestly. Dress in a very modest way. Modest way is what Allah has kind of put under a whole prescription when Allah says, cover yourselves. Cover yourselves that you do not get raped by men on the streets of your countries. That way, that's one of the other thing is that in an elephant's whole interpretation, it flaps its ears. I think it has the largest ears. It has the largest ears. In those flapping of the ears says yes, hijab. Hijab is what you put on your head to cover yourself from the sun rays, because many of you did not know that each of the sun rays contains what we call gravity metallic elements, electrical elements. Those electrical elements are what makes a woman very beautiful, because in the center of the brain, in the center of the skull of a woman, there is where life enters through in order for a woman to be able to live a very, very beautiful life. But however, if you leave that part of your skull open to direct sun rays, and those sun rays touches the skin on the skull in the center of your skull, it can cause very deadly effects, which may cause you to see as if you are mad or you're unable. It can cause, in fact, it can cause madness. But it's advised from the whole beautiful interpretations of the ayahs of the Holy Quran that you dress modestly, that you avoid, because your body cannot process these metallic gravity elements just like that. You need somehow to be to apply your celestial obligation to obey and adhere all what we call all holy divine laws and prescriptions and directives from Allah.